Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Mike Armstrong podcast show. And this evening, we're joined by Karen Fleming, who is a new recent author and also an entrepreneur from Ireland. And how are you doing today, Karen? You okay?
Thanks, Mike. Yes, I'm doing really well. Thanks very much for having me on your podcast.
No problem at all. Thanks for coming back. For those who've listened to my podcast or seen some of the YouTube videos, Karen was one of my earlier YouTube and podcast guests. So I had a few people on audio only, but Karen come on for one of my earliest Zoom recordings, which went to the YouTube channel as well. So thanks very much for coming back on, Karen.
Great to see you again, Mike. It's always a pleasure.
Yes, brilliant. And for those that watch that video, they'll know that me and Karen met early on during the lockdown when I joined the Outstanding Networking Group, and then Karen joined a bit later as well. And that's run by Pat Slattery, by the way, and there's a Facebook group, the Outstanding Network, which you can click on and join if you're interested in networking. But Karen's been really busy over the last few months, really, writing a book or contributing to writing a book along with a number of other people. So tell us a little bit about how that's gone for you, Karen, and what the book is about, and anything else that you want to say about it, really.
Well, Mike, it's been an absolute pleasure to collaborate with all these wonderful people that are in the book. It's a collaboration of, I think there's 20 of us. And the foreword is by John Boyle, who's the owner of Boyle Sports. And Donna Kennedy, which is 6-time best-selling author, it's her book, and we are all writing in it. And everybody that's writing in the book is writing from their own personal story. So everyone has overcome their own obstacles and have written the story to share it with other people. And it's actually very empowering. So the book itself is called Be Life or Belief. And as I was saying, it's real stories with real people. And it covers topics. Some of the topics that it covers is confidence, overcoming obstacles, negative self-beliefs, suicide, domestic violence, women's and men's mental health, and spirituality. And there's much more. And it's full of wisdom, and it's full of tips, and it's actually full of laughter as well. There's some jokes in there too, so it covers a lot, you know.
Yeah, good. And what bit of the book do you cover?
So my section, my chapter is about being authentic. So it's about the authentic self. So overall, what my chapter is about is connecting to yourself rather than connecting to the outside world for your answers and your solutions. That within you, when you connect through, there's many ways of connecting through just being present, just deep breathing, many ways to access. Some people meditation, mindfulness, whatever it is, even walking sometimes, but doing things that bring out your true self and connecting to that for your wisdom, because we have everything within us. It's about accessing that. And you know, I do believe that we were all born unique. We all have our own, you know, special gift or talents within us, but we tend to, well, I would have anyway, spent a lot of my life not believing in myself and not, you know, connecting to that, connecting to fear. Maybe, you know, when I was young, my mum was ill and I became very fearful of losing her. So that stored within me, and I started to connect to that and operate from that at an early age. But as you get into your 20s and that, you start to realize, well, that's no longer relevant. You know, as you start working on yourself, you start to discover that you're actually acting from something that is not, it's not bringing out the best in you. So it's about connecting to the best in you, you know. Yeah. So that's what my journey has been about. And that's my message really for everybody. It's to do our best to do that and find the ways to do that in our daily life.
Yeah, well, it's an awesome message because it's a message I'm actually putting out there a lot at the moment. It's a message I see that's very popular in marketing at the moment, and I'm obviously, massively into marketing, and the marketing buzz, I think, word or phrase or philosophy of the moment is a philosophy that I love, and that's being authentic, being genuine, being,
Yeah.
who you are, because, we're all much better at being us than we are being anyone else. And
Oh,
so,
yeah. I mean, I think someone once said, how can you expect someone to connect with you or to like you when you don't even connect with yourself? So the more you can be you, the more people can understand you, can connect with you, and the more they can be at ease with you as well. Yeah. So why would you want to be anyone else?
Yes, exactly. Like, that's like me. I'm awesome. Why would I want to be anyone else? It doesn't mean that you can't learn from other people. Doesn't mean that you can't be influenced and inspired and take bits off other people, because people are there to help you and support you and stuff. But what I believe in is taking bits off other people, but then applying them my way.
Yeah, like I joined the network there, the Outstanding Network, back in March, and I've learned so much during that time as well. Like there's been so many presentations by so many people in business and in life, and very inspiring stories. So it's about taking that and using it in your life, and if it's resonating with you, becoming the best that you can be. And we learn from each other, and it's about helping each other as well, and listening and learning and giving as well.
Yeah.
I meant to actually say to you, Mike, all the pre-order sales for the book are going to charity as well. So they're going to the Kevin Bell Reciprocation Trust.
Yeah.
And their son, what inspired them to start with, their son actually passed away abroad in NYC, and they had a lot of difficulty bringing him back. So they set up this charity, and they help many people to do the same thing. So all of our pre-order sales now, between now and November 5th, the profits are going to them, to that charity. So I just wanted to make sure I mentioned that to you.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And obviously, where do people go if they want to pre-order? And obviously, where do they go if they want to get the book once it's out? And actually, it's launching later on this year as well, isn't it? In November, I think you said. So tell us a little bit about that, how people pre-order, buy it, and all that sort of thing.
So it's available now. So get your copy now. Yeah. And by buying it now, you're actually supporting the charity, and you're getting your copy in time. So as soon as the book is released, which is November 5th, it'll be shipped to you then directly.
Okay, so it's going to come out with a big bang then on Bonfires Night.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, as I said, Donna is a 6-time best-selling author, so yeah, we're all very confident, and we're going to do our best. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And I've seen a lot of promotion about the book, obviously, because a lot of the people I know are in it and featured in it from the Outstanding Network and the wider network as well. So I've seen a lot of people publishing and promoting the book. So hopefully lots of people will download it or sign up to it and get that money raised for charity. And then obviously, lots of people will buy it, I suppose, when it gets put onto, was it going onto Amazon or where else? Is it going?
Yeah, it will be on Amazon. Yeah, in good time. Yeah. Also to let you know that Pat Slattery has a chapter in the book as well. Yeah. So he's set up the Outstanding Network, and he's helped many people. So he's a leader in business and life mentoring. So like there's so many nuggets in this book. It'll change lives. It really will. Yeah, it'll change lives. And I think with the mindset, because there's a lot of people, especially in lockdown, and they're sitting at home or wherever they are, and there's so much happening externally. So what's happening outside, things are changing, things are, between jobs and finances and, situations with family, and, they're challenging times. So to be able to read someone's story that has gone through something and found that nugget or that information, like there's lots of exercises in it as well. So you can do the exercises, and you can, help yourself, you know, or a loved one as well, you know, so I'd highly recommend it.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of people that do need help, you know, overcoming problems or learning new
Yes,
mindsets or that sort of thing. So, yeah, it's going to be a fantastic book where you can learn from 20 people who've already been there, done it, overcome, you know, the adversities that people are going to be coming into now. And
yeah,
yeah, you know, there'll be something for everyone, I guess. And obviously, to help you promote the book as well. You've provided me with a link, so we can pop that link into the description of the podcast and into the
brilliant.
YouTube channel as well. And obviously, because I do web marketing as well, I'll pop it all around social media as well, and see if we can get you that, you know, get you raising some great funds for charity, and also get you to a top spot in the Amazon charts as it comes out. I suppose the pre-orders will help it to rank in the charts, I guess.
That'd be fantastic, Mike. That's what we're aiming for. Yeah.
Yeah, good.
That's it.
So yeah. So how long did it take you from start to finish to actually do your section of the book?
A couple of months actually. When I first started writing, I was trying to combine it into one chapter. So I wrote, I think, 20,000 words, and then I just went off on one. You know, I do enjoy writing. I write a diary, or I think when I was a teenager, my dad wrote a couple of books himself, and when I was a teenager, I wrote a poem in one of his books, and then that was that. But I enjoyed writing the diary after that. So I think when I started the chapter, I just got into flow, and I just kept writing, and I had 20,000 words, and I had to combine them down so that everybody else can fit in the book. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was actually quite a challenge, because what do you put in, and what's relevant, and what, you know, makes sense, and, you know, what's the best message. So it was a good experience, really, really good experience. And then we were all connecting throughout that, and everybody's coming from different walks of life and different perspectives. So for me, it took me a couple of months, and, you know, reviewing
Yeah,
my
good.
work.
Well,
Yeah.
does that mean then you got a book in there yourself? You know, you put
Oh,
all of those 20,000 in your own book?
yes,
Yeah.
indeed, I do.
Yeah,
I
that
do. I
sounds
didn't
like a plan. It
realize
sounds
it.
like it sounds like a good way to go, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's actually opened that up for me now. It's like, right, okay, I'm really into writing now, and yeah, let's see what happens next.
Yeah.
I'm also hoping to do some courses in the near future around some of the topics and that I think might be able to make a difference, you know.
Yeah, great. As you know, I wrote a book in the start of lockdown as well. I haven't quite published it yet because of a few challenges, but that's got me the bug for writing as well. It's just at the beginning of lockdown, I had the time, and at the moment, I just don't have the time. But at some point, I
Yeah,
created some formulas during lockdown, a happiness formula and a success formula, and I'm going to write those in a book at some point as well. But it's just finding the time, isn't it? Because I'm growing my podcast and my YouTube channel. Every sort of
yeah,
spare minute of the day, I'm recording or thinking about recording, or other than I'm also doing sales and marketing. I'm sales and marketing director at Intrabiz. So when I'm not inviting people to their networking events and doing my own podcasts, I've got to try and squeeze in some time to write a book.
you're on fire, Mike. You
Yeah,
really are.
well,
You know, you've a lot going on there. It's good, so it's all good.
yeah, well, I think when you when you go on fire, if you like, or get into full flow, is when you're doing things that are on a daily basis that are in line with your highest value systems. That's what Dr.
Yeah,
John DeMartini teaches, and you know, I think a lot of the time I still do some things I don't like doing, not very often, every now and then, but nearly everything I do every day, all day, every day, are things that I don't consider work. They're just things I love doing. Like I do podcasts with Americans and stuff, and I'll do some 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think 12, half 12 is the latest I've done a podcast. And like, you know, I've been working since 7:30 in the morning. Like, you know, I got to get up at 7. I'm out at 7:30, and people would be like, well, you know, why are you still doing stuff at that time of the night? But I love it, so like, why wouldn't I?
well,
You know?
that's it. If you're doing something that makes you feel good, and makes you feel happy, and you're connected to what you love, so I mean, why would you be doing anything else? You
Yeah,
know, and
exactly.
as you say,
Yeah.
the journey's unfolding. You will write that book.
Yeah. Well, just like I suppose, like I like helping people, and you like helping people as well, and you're going to write some courses and go into coaching to help people. I actually that's something else I've got to do as well, is write some courses. I've got them all in my head. I'm just going to put them down, into written courses or video or whatever. That's why I create
Yeah,
so much content on my audio, because I can use the audio content as well as part of that coaching. But that's probably why you enjoyed writing a book, and why I enjoyed writing mine, even though I haven't published it yet, because it's the reason why I created the podcast. Just anywhere that you can put some information that's going to help someone is it's a good thing, isn't it? It makes you feel good. It makes me feel great to help people. I love helping people, which is
it's
why I got you.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I love we talked the last time about random acts of kindness
Yeah.
as well. And, it can be a smile, it can be a gift, it can be, just a phone call sometimes, but it does make a difference, and it's about, trying to remember that more these days. Because it does make a difference to somebody else. So we talked about that before, and it's a big part of life, isn't it, now for you?
Yeah, well, just funnily enough, I just did a podcast episode on the way home from work, and that was about relationship building, and that was about just
Oh,
a good way of building relationships is by doing good things for other people, because people will like you and trust you, and actually it makes you feel good, it makes them feel good, it makes the world a better place. So to me, I think, why wouldn't people just help people more? It don't make no sense to me, like, 'cause it's just win win win. It's win for yourself, it's win for other people, it's win for the world.
yeah, true. Very true, Mike. Yeah, it is. It is.
So,
And I think it is. I think the shift is starting to happen. Like, I think a lot of people are doing that now.
yeah,
Actually, we were out yesterday doing the 10K, the challenge, the women's mini marathon. So it was virtual this year, and we did it for Aware. Our contribution wasn't huge, but it was every person's contribution to the whole makes the difference. So we
yeah,
went out in the lashings of rain yesterday, and we actually had a crack. We just said, we're doing this, and we're doing it for a cause. And it was brilliant because, number one, you're out and you're getting your exercise, you're getting your fresh air, and number two, you're making a difference. So that's what makes life fulfilling. So it's like to try and do more of that if you can.
yeah.
So we come
Yeah,
home great, we're happy.
that's it. But once you get soaking wet, you can't get any wetter, can you? You hit a point, a tipping point, and once you hit that tipping point, you're as wet as you could be. It doesn't matter, like
Where you are, yeah.
you could jump in a swimming pool if you want to. You're not getting no wetter. I know what
Yeah.
Welsh rain is like, and the Irish rain is supposed to be vertical.
I know. I wouldn't mind. The day before was sunny, but sure, look, the day we
Yeah,
set was yesterday.
that's the
But
luck.
yeah, no, it's happening. There's a lot of people doing great work, so
Yeah,
we're
brilliant.
all doing our
Brilliant.
best.
But I've always been someone who likes to, like hold a door open for somebody if they're carrying shopping or whatever, or helps a mother take the pushchair with a kid in up the stairs or down the stairs or off the bus or whatever it may be. And I just don't understand why other people aren't like that, really, because it's, it's not, it doesn't take a lot of effort, and it just helps somebody out, doesn't it? It just helps their
Yeah,
day, like,
it
So,
is kind of cute sometimes. Somebody opens a door for you or a car door, and you're like, oh, thank you.
yeah, but I always think, like, especially if they're older, like an older lady, or like I used to go around, because I'm tall, I'm 6'2.5". Like my nan and all the women in my life, most of them have been short, so like they'd always like invite me over, cook me a curry or something, and then get me to change the light bulbs, or put something up on the kitchen cabinet out of the way, or you know what I mean? It's like, oh, the tall chap's coming over, my tall grandson's coming over, cook him some food, and then get him to do all the high stuff, right? So, so
Sure,
yeah.
it's all good.
But the one thing I think people need during this time, and other people can reach out to, is people who need contact, communication. Just the old person next door or across the street or wherever. I think that's something that people can help with quite easy. It takes 2 seconds to knock on a door and ask if someone's okay, or text them or ring them
Yeah,
or whatever. And I think
yeah,
if more people were a bit more considerate of other people around them, then there'd be a lot less sort of loneliness and stuff, like, with the older generations especially.
Yeah, Mike, that's a very fair point. It's it's not that hard to knock on a neighbour's door or check in on an elderly person and just see how they are. Bring them a gift, or a cake. Sit down with them, have a cup of tea if you can. You know, it's lovely. It makes that difference to them, because that could make their whole day. It could make someone's day. For you, it's a few minutes out of your day. So it's about being mindful, isn't it, of these things? Trying to be more mindful of that as you're going about your week. Fitting in
definitely.
these
And
things for the week.
even if it's not, if you don't want to extend anything to a neighbour, even if it's just your nan, or your great auntie or whatever, like, I mean, there's a lot of people who just, they do get forgotten about, like, because they're not,
Yeah, especially over the winter months.
Yeah, definitely. As we're reaching now, because they're not in your day-to-day life. People forget about it in this day and age. They're too busy on their phone or doing whatever else. But it takes, like you say, it takes 2 seconds to do that. So that's something I was always.
Yeah, that's the other thing, Mike. We're connecting to the social media and the news, and it's external. Is it negative or is it positive? What are we listening to during the day? Is it empowering us or is it disempowering us? And obviously some things that are going on, are out of our control. But it's like, well, how can we, think? How can we speak to ourselves? How can we, converse with other people? How can we even guide ourselves and other people away from that, so that you're putting in the good stuff as well, or getting that balance, because you can be overwhelmed with the news. We're sitting watching the news. I know some people have said it to me that they can't sit there for hours watching what's going on in the telly. They have to get out or do something different, because it's too much. Yeah, it's negative.
Yeah, exactly. I don't watch the soaps and the news for the same reason, because the things with the soaps, it's like they live in a fake world where, like, everything is just bad all of the time because it's drama and they've got to create drama. But it's like, well, I don't want to watch that much negativity all the time. You know what I mean? I don't need that much drama in my life. That's why I don't create that drama. I don't watch other people going through it. Like, I just, hopefully I want to get through life without much drama.
Well, that's another perspective. Yeah.
Exactly, but so I'm always watching positive stuff, and if I'm watching stuff at all, I'm mostly getting involved and creating my own news.
Yeah, if every day you could just do that one thing that uplifts you, or that gives you that lovely feeling that you have inside, like, connects you to that. And I know a lot of people have been doing gardening as well during the summer, getting out and into the garden, and that's really good for you.
It's always good to get in touch with nature at the end of the day, and just to be mindful and stuff, like, So I haven't been doing much gardening, but I've been getting out and about on my bike quite a lot, so I've been enjoying that. And, and you've been going for walks and runs, so you got to get a bit of nature into your mind as well.
Yeah.
But there was a question actually I wanted to ask you about the book. It's called Be Live or Belief, isn't it? Yeah. What's the meaning behind that?
Well, it's about when you look at the book, the B is capital and the E and then life. So be life.
Yeah.
Or be live. And inside believe, there's the word lie, L-I-E.
Yeah.
So a lot of the focus is about negative belief systems, or negative beliefs that we've taken on, that we're using in our daily lives, that maybe we need to look at and change. So are we being life, or are we being the life? So that's what the meaning is, which is very good.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, so it's a play on the sort of words and the meaning behind those words, if you like. And, yeah. And,
so how do you be life? That's the goal, be life. Yeah.
Yeah, and I suppose, because everyone's going through a story that, a life-changing story, etc. And often you come out of that story and you believe that, you could have negative beliefs, or you could believe that, because of that incident, and that is the way you have to live the rest of your life, or now you're a victim, or whatever it may be. We tell ourselves all of these things because of those incidences. And what it really is saying is that no matter what's happened to you, you can overcome them, and you can live a fulfilling life after those things.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And it's about acknowledging and noticing the beliefs that you do have, and then seeing, are they empowering me, or are they empowering my life, or are they not? And I'll give you an example of one of mine. I'd say a lot of people have this one, but one was like, I didn't have confidence, and I don't believe, was the belief itself was actually, I don't deserve. I don't know where that came from, or I'm not good enough. Yeah, so the I'm not good enough, I've heard a lot of people say, but that was definitely one for me. I'm not good enough to do A, B, C. I'm not good enough to achieve that. So that belief was stopping me from taking that chance, or doing that thing, or being myself, in a situation. So when you're acknowledging it and saying, well, where does this come from? Or, where does this fit in with what I want to do? Is it bringing me forward or bringing me back? So then you get to look at it and replace it with a more empowering belief. And then you can off you go then, it changes everything. So yeah, a lot of people have experienced situations where they created or they learned negative beliefs.
Yeah, I think a lot of it starts out in school, because unless you're top academically, or top in sports, or top in something else, then you can start off in a position of not necessarily believing that you're the best at this or the best at that, and ultimately, you can have negative beliefs then that you're not the best at different things, but everyone can be the best at different things. Sometimes they just haven't found or discovered those things, and so you have to sort of get rid of those. Or I'm not the best, into actually I wasn't the best at that, but I can be the best at this.
Exactly.
It's about understanding that ultimately all the things you get tested on as a youngster, they're not definitive to they're the only things that you can ever be good or bad at.
What were you really good at as a child?
I was quite lucky. I was academically good. I had 2 A's, 6 B's, and 3 C's at GCSE, and I moved school halfway through year 4. So if I hadn't moved schools and changed, I probably would have had much better than that. But I was always pretty good. I was always in top sets and stuff. And I was good at sports as well. I played rugby. I was fastest boy in junior school. I played rugby, and we won the league and cup double for the first 3 years of high school. So I had quite a lot of success early, and that's probably why I've always been pretty successful most of my life. I've always been better than the people around me, peers. Yeah, because I started off with a winner's mentality, because I happened to have some attributes that were good, like speed. So I was very good at sports because I had speed, and speed is one of the things that you need in most sports, So I was very good at sport. I was quite good academically, and so I didn't have to overcome that many negative beliefs. I had positive beliefs from an early age, and that's probably what got me through most of my life pretty successful. But when I actually had my first major down incident in my life, which was late on in life, really, for a lot of people, I was about, about 30 odd, something like that. And so that was a challenge for me to overcome something major bad that happened in my life, because I wasn't used to that. I wasn't used to failure, or things not going your way, if you like. Things always went my way, because I've always been good at whatever I wanted to do, So, I had a divorce, and so it's probably one of the big life failures, if you like, a divorce. But you don't go into a marriage to get divorced, do you? Nobody does, but it happened, and it took me a while to overcome that, because I just wasn't, if I was used to maybe failing often and a lot, I probably would have been able to get over it quicker. It would have just been like, oh, well, that's another thing that's gone wrong, whatever. But because I wasn't used to that, it took me a while to get over it, So I didn't have any limiting beliefs, I think, from childhood. I was lucky that I had a lot of positive beliefs. I had a lot of confidence. I've always been a confident kid, like, because I
Yeah.
suppose when you get used to winning, I used to win like all the medals and all the certificates for all of the events in sports days and things like that. You know what I mean? So like, when you have a childhood like that, you're confident. You know what I mean? Because you know that you're better than the average of the people around you. Like, I was
So
fascinated.
what effect then did the divorce have on you then?
Well, I would say I lost the wind in my sails.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've been somebody who always been highly motivated, highly driven, layered, as in I always want to get to the next step, next step, next step. I'm not someone who ever likes plateau.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I hate plateau. To me, it's always about what's the next level, what's the next level, what's the next level, what can I do next, what can I
Yeah.
do next? Yeah,
You're achiever.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm an achiever. Yeah, but what happened is I lost the wind in my sails. I lost my motivation. I lost my drive, and I just
Yeah.
plateaued for like 4 years.
Yeah. It knocked you back.
I
And
just
then during them
yeah.
4 years, was that a period then of reflection for you and development and
It was a period of partying.
yeah,
I just went.
that's
I
right.
just. I thought I'd enjoy myself for a while, so I wasn't really interested in progression, drive, ambition, any of that. I just literally, I just went. I just went partying with a mate of mine, like because he was single at the time. I just gone through a
Yeah.
divorce. We partied for a while, quite a lot. I moved in with my mate, and so we were a bit like was it men behaving badly, 40-year-old kids living together, like what I mean, behaving like best friends and that because we were best friends and hadn't seen each other, but like when you're in a couple and you're married and stuff and you got kids and stuff, you don't see your friends as much as you used
Yeah.
to. And then we went back to that sort of like being two teenage friends again,
Yeah.
So we
So
had
it
quite a
wasn't,
lot of that.
it had some positive sides to it for you, but for some people, they wouldn't have had that maybe, and it would be difficult for them. Well, obviously, I'm not saying it was easy for you either, but they may not have had that experience to kind of help them. So
Yeah,
in the book as well, divorce is covered.
yeah,
Yeah, there's actually a chapter that covers that. So it's about people who whatever challenges people go through during a divorce. It's you can learn something from it as well. But
yeah.
yeah, it sounds like you had great fun.
Yeah, well, that's it. I did have good fun. It also had it had its hard times and its challenges, etc. But I did have good fun. I suppose because I was working all the hours under the sun. I was doing 70, 80 hours a week in employment, and I was working about 30, 40 hours a week in a
Yeah,
part-time business, So
Yeah,
I was just working all the time, because of the global credit crunch. Bills went up and cost of living went up, and my ex-wife didn't go back to work, and so it was just all the financial restraints were on me really, and
yeah,
so I was just working
had
all
to
the
go
hours under
through.
the sun. I used to
Yeah.
work all the hours under the sun, and then my thanks for that was like, "Why are you working all the time?"
Mhm, mhm.
But it's like, well, because you're not, because one of us got it, one of us got to pick up the slack, So that used to be a bit of a pain in the backside because I'm somebody who'll do whatever it takes. But
Yeah,
sometimes whatever it takes is not what other people are prepared to do or
mhm.
prepared to see someone else do. But I was
Right.
working all the hours under the sun because I had to. And if I had
Yeah,
to, I can work. Since then, I was working in a job and in a business, working all the hours under the sun. Since then, I work all the hours under the sun now, but I'm doing exactly what I want to do every day. So it doesn't feel like working all the hours under the sun. So
yeah,
it's a difference, But
yeah,
yeah, so I had a good time with my friend. It was a bad divorce, really, because all divorces aren't great. Um, but then after about 4 years, I decided enough was enough. Let's get back on the ambition, drive, you know, chasing goals and targets and get back into what I've always done my entire life. So I
yeah,
had a 4 year holiday break from being ambitious and driven and working like a nutter. Um, I had a break, and then I've been back on that since then. So that was probably about 2017. So yeah,
Mm,
2017. So I've been 4 years creating momentum and building drive and steps and layers and stuff. And
yeah,
it took me about a year or so of getting my drive back before I set
yeah.
myself the biggest goal of my life.
It sounds like you were rebuilding your life again,
Yeah.
putting the pieces back together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah, and once I had a few
Yeah.
pieces back together after about a year of getting back into the right mentality, really, and getting that back drive and ambition, I set myself a goal so big that I had to develop into the person capable of achieving it.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is what Grant Cardone and quite a few entrepreneurs will teach you is aim for something so big that one, you're driven and motivated to achieve it, but two, you know you're not capable of achieving it. So you have to keep developing and learning to turn into the
Mhm,
person capable of achieving it.
mhm,
So that's what I
mhm,
did. I set myself a life goal, and I know I'm capable of achieving it, but I know I got to keep growing as a person and as a human being and keep developing in order to be able to achieve it. And
mhm,
so that's the mission that I'm on, and that's why I'm so active and 100% and 100 mile an hour at the moment, because I know I got to be to achieve such a
mhm.
big goal that I've set. You can't go half in, like, I mean, you got to be all in.
You know who I love? Years ago, I was introduced to Tony Robbins.
Yeah,
My dad booked us on a seminar, and I went for the weekend. It was Unleash the Power. Oh my goodness! Like electric. The room was electric. I don't know. I think it was about 20,000 people, and it was like just the music pumping, the energy in the air. Everybody's just goal setting, overcoming. Again, it was about beliefs and about setting goals and stepping out of the comfort zone that we're living in, because we have ourselves, well, we can live like within this comfort zone. Oh, don't do that. Oh, don't do that because, oh, don't do that. Well, it's like, well, what if I try? So at that weekend, you step out and you can see that big goal and what you want to achieve. And we do a fire walk. Amazing
yeah.
weekend. I'll never
I
forget it.
haven't
And that
done
was
a
the start of my
firewalk.
goal.
I haven't done a firewalk, but I fancy one. But I know Tony does them in his events.
Yeah.
But did you see his recent event with his TV wall? He did a Unleash the Power Within
Yeah,
online event.
that's right. Yeah, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Did you go to it yourself or?
No, I didn't go to it, but I went to an online seminar a couple of weeks ago, which the video for that was on. So they were
Mhm.
showing the video. It was a Tony Robbins reseller, based in South Africa. I did a 2-day summit on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. In fact, it's coming up again on the 10th, which I think is next Saturday and Sunday. So they're replaying the
Fantastic.
summit again, and it was Tony Robbins, Dr. Don Martini, and Les Brown. But I think they've added Sharon Lecter to it, this one as well.
Oh,
And I go on a
incredible
lot of those
people.
sort of seminars because at Intrabiz, where I'm working now, we're doing a 3-day seminar ourselves at the end of November, which
Hmm.
is the Intrabiz Global Summit. And we've got Les Brown, Dr. John Martini, Jarek Robbins, Brian Tracy, Sharon Lecter, Tom Ziegler, um, loads of people. There's over 30 speakers booked on so far, but we're still
Brilliant.
working on a couple of bigger names than what we've already got, and we've already got quite a lot of the top names on the planet. So the people that we're trying still to nail down are some big boys, like big boys and girls.
Oh,
Some of
that's
the
fantastic.
some
That's
of the
great.
top
And people can
people.
just go online and it's the whole seminar's online, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's a free to attend seminar. It's free over 3 days. Yeah, so it's like I think they're going to do it like 5-6 hours a day, or even up to 10 hours a day. And there's speakers from the UK as well, but a lot of them are the American greats, And it's a 3-day event. It's free, but you can also subscribe to a video of the 3 days, which you can watch whenever you want to. Then, so it's going to be a really great one of the top global summits of the year, and there's been some good ones already. I've been on a couple myself
Very
already,
good.
and the Unleash the Power Within Tony Robbins seminar a difficult one to compete with because he's got a big budget. Like, you know what I mean? He's one of the higher income earners in that space, like, you know. But he had a TV wall built, and it was a bit like the X Factor wall, like, you know.
Fantastic, wasn't it? And then they had one of the leaders of the Pranic Healing Institute as well was speaking at it too, and it was very, very, very good. I listened to that as well, and yeah, you could see everybody at home in their houses and all the boxes all around the room, you know.
Yeah,
it's very good. I think like it's brilliant for us to engage in these things at the moment, you know. It's a way to live, and it's positive.
Well, there's a lot of them on, and they're either free or they're cheap. You know what I mean? Because people are trying to help everyone else out. It's a good time to learn. Not everyone's got big budgets, so you know there's a lot of great deals around at the moment for webinars and courses and events and seminars and summits, and you know 30 people over 3 days at an online global summit is right up my street. I love spending 3 days that way, like, you know, and you know you can't always spend the whole time there, but you dip in and out to the speakers you want to listen to, like, you know.
Well, that's it. The seminars, you pick up things that you can, you know, use and make sense to you. And then the same with the book. I know I keep saying the book as well, but it's when you see it, it's like that book is like 20 people coming into your home and telling you their story and how they overcome it and what they learned from it and how you can do A, B, and C to help you. And it's like, it's amazing, you know, to be able to do that and to be able to have these things at the moment, or as you say, a seminar, all these amazing people coming onto your laptop, and there you are as if you're in the room with them, and you know you're engaging with it, and it's positive. It's all positive, and that's what we need. We need more of this.
Exactly, and that's a great place to leave it. I think that's a great place to leave it, where you've got full circle background to the book. As I said earlier, I'll pop in a link where people can get some pre-orders of the book online. And I'd just like to say thank you very much for sharing a bit about the book, and still leaving a bit there so that people can download the book, because that's the main thing. And thanks for coming on the podcast.
Thank you very much, Mike. Really enjoyed it. And take care now. Have a good evening.
Yes. Okay. Brilliant. All the best. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Another run of steam, like, you know.
I think we could have. I think we can talk a lot. You and I, we can talk about stuff. And we went off and started having a conversation, I suppose, naturally.
Yeah. Well, that's it. I love having conversations with people anyway. I love it going off in tangents and stuff. But you know, we stuck it mostly about the book, and we just went on a few tangents and some different stuff. But that's always good, you know.
Yeah, cool. I enjoyed it. I think it's very easy. Talking to you, you just feel chilled. You know, so it was really good.
Thank you. I think we got quite a lot of stuff in common, so you know, lots of stuff to talk about, like, you know.
Yeah.
So
loads. So I'll have some more contact next time.
Yeah, definitely. Well, next time you want to come on, either for a recording or just a chat, let me know. I'm always up for having a chat. You know that. So
okay.
Yeah.
Great. Well, this was brilliant time, and you know, it was brilliant time. And I think the last time you said to me, "You coming on?" At that time, I was like, I don't really know what I'm talking about at the moment because I'm in between.
You were transitioning, wasn't you? Like, yeah.
So now it's like, I'm a lot more grounded in it now that you understand. Right. Here we
get
are.
Get right in those courses, and the next time you come on, you can plug those.
Yeah. Why not? Yeah, who knows?
Might as well. But again, if you just want to chat anytime, just let me know. I'm always, happy to Zoom.
Okay, Mike. We'll stay in touch. Yeah. Thanks a million, right?
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.